What if the NBA introduced a 4-point line? The concept of a 4-point line has been a topic of discussion in the league for years, but it has yet to materialize beyond a mere idea. But what if these seemingly ill-advised long-range bombs, which currently offer no tangible advantage, became a reality? How would a 4-pointer fundamentally alter the game, from offensive strategies to player preferences? And, most importantly, who would emerge as the most adept and prolific shooters from this extended range? Let's explore this crazy hypothetical scenario. First up is Trae Young, confidently launching a deep shot from the Lakers logo. However, it's not a regular 3-pointer, it's a 30-footer. What makes this celebration unique is Trae pointing at a specific spot on the court, the 4-point line. Though invisible to the naked eye, Trae can visualize it because the Atlanta Hawks practice facility features a 4-point line implemented years ago, positioned 29 feet from the basket, slightly over 5 feet farther than the NBA's 3-point line. This practice facility addition allows players like Trae Young to hone their skills from extended distances. The Hawks aren't alone in incorporating a 4-point line into their practices. Teams like the Bucks, 76ers, Rockets, and others have also embraced this concept. Milwaukee's practice court, for example, showcases squares indicating 4-pointer. With the NBA experiencing a surge in 3-pointers over the past decade, the addition of a 4-point line could significantly impact the game. While its potential influence on the game's dynamics remains uncertain, it's interesting to note that the concept isn't entirely foreign to basketball. The Big Three League, featuring former NBA players and overseas pros, doesn't have a 4-point line, but it does have a 4-point spot known as the Fireball 3, a 30-foot spot where shots are worth 4 points. Looking at statistics from the Big Three League, the average from the 4-point shot stands at 15%. In the WNBA, a similar 4-point spot has been introduced for the last 2 All-Star games, positioned 28 feet from the basket. In the 2023 WNBA All-Star Game, players attempted 45 4-pointers, connecting on 12 of them, yielding a 4-point shooting percentage of 26.7%. While a 4-point line might not be imminent in the NBA, it's intriguing to consider its potential impact. How far out would it be? How would it reshape the game we know? And, perhaps most excitingly, who would take over as the premier 4-point shooters on the planet? Let's delve into these questions and explore the hypothetical scenario of the 4-point line in the NBA. In 2020, an article published by the Northeastern Sports Analytics Group delved into the possibility of introducing a 4-point line in basketball. The researchers examined how such a shot would alter the dynamics of the game and outlined the specifics of what this new dimension might look like. Through their data analysis, they pinpointed a critical factor. The distance had to be just right for the shot to make sense. According to their findings, the optimal distance for a 4-point line would be 30 feet. Any closer and the shot would be too easy, any further and it wouldn't be worth taking. We've touched on the concept of shot efficiency before, exploring how it influences team offensive strategies, often referred to as points per shot. In the 2022-23 season, the expected shot value for a 2-pointer was 1.96 points, while for a 3-pointer, it was 1.83 points, essentially making both shots equally efficient on average. By leveraging shot data collected by the NBA since 1996, we can determine the expected shot value not only by category, but also by distance. For example, if we set the 4-point line at 24 feet, we can analyze shots taken from that distance, find the league-wide average success rate, and calculate the expected shot value. With a league-wide average field goal percentage of about 35% from 24 feet, the expected shot value for a 24-foot 4-pointer would be 1.44 points, surpassing both 3-pointers and 2-pointers in efficiency. However, to strike a balance and prevent the lead from turning into a 4-point shootout, the researchers determined that placing the 4-point line at 30 feet yielded an expected shot value of 0.693 points, making it feasible enough to make sense without being overly exploitable. If the NBA were to adopt this 30-foot 4-pointer, the next question arises: who would be the best 4-point shooters in the league? Surprisingly, the answer might not align with conventional expectations. Now, let's visualize what a 30-foot shot looks like, and for the sake of this experiment, let's consider these shots as 4-pointers, a distance beyond the value of any existing shot when they are only worth 3 points. Despite the theoretical challenge, players have demonstrated a willingness to take such shots. The NBA record for the most theoretical 4-pointers made in the game is held by a 4-way tie between D'Angelo Russell, Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, and Trae Young, each making 5 4-pointers in a single game from at least 30 feet out. Undoubtedly, one of the most mind-boggling exhibitions of long-range shooting in NBA history unfolded courtesy of Damian Lillard back in 2020. In a single game, Lillard daringly attempted 10 shots from beyond the 30-foot mark, a feat that would have most players shipped off in trade packages the very next day. To put in perspective, Dame took a total of 15 3-pointers in that game, with 10 of them launching from an impressive distance. Since the NBA started meticulously documenting play-by-play data, there have been 51 games where a player made at least 3 4-pointers. Out of those 51 games, a staggering 36 came from the hands of Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, or Trae Young. In a league teeming with exceptional shooters, these 3 stand out as the select few who should even be attempting such audacious shots. Now, pondering the potential impact of introducing a 4-point line is indeed a challenging task. After painstakingly scrutinizing the shot data and results of each game from the previous season, we discovered that only 2 games out of the 1,314 played would have seen a different outcome if the shots made beyond 30 feet were counted as 4-pointers instead of 3-pointers. In other words, the addition of an extra point for these long bombs wouldn't have dramatically altered the league's landscape, at least not for those who refrained from taking them. But what about the players who embraced these deep shots? Last season, there were a total of 2,192 shots attempted from at least 30 feet out across the NBA. While this might seem like a substantial number, it accounted for a mere 2.6% of all shots taken beyond the 3-point line. Furthermore, the league-wide average field goal percentage for these now hypothetical 4-pointers was a mere 17.3%, underscoring the difficulty of this shot. To delve into individual performances, players like Luka Doncic and Anthony Edwards struggled from this distance, showcasing shooting percentages of 14.7% and 7% respectively. On the other hand, Jordan Poole exhibited deadly accuracy, making 32% of his 72 attempts from 4-point range. Darius Garland, in an astounding display, attempted 27 4-pointers and connected on 41% of them, a figure identical to his 3-point shooting percentage. These statistics, when examined, reveal the very proficiency of players from beyond the proposed 4-point line. But these statistics are specific to just the last season. To gain a broader perspective, let's delve into tracking the data back to 1996, examining a chart illustrating the players who have attempted the most 4-pointers over the past 27 seasons. We quickly discern the rarity of shots from this extended distance. Devin Booker, ranked 42nd all-time in shots attempted from at least 30 feet, has taken merely 109 such shots in his entire career. Conversely, Carmelo Anthony struggled in this range, yet Darius Garland stands out as a wizard from 30 feet out. Ascending the chart, one notable observation is that being a proficient 3-point shooter doesn't necessarily translate to success from 4-point range. Ray Allen, renowned for his 3-point prowess, shot 157 4-pointers throughout his career, hitting only 5.7% of them. In contrast, Luka Doncic, considered underwhelming in traditional 3-point shooting, excels in shooting 4-pointers, well above the league average. As we approach the top of the list, the total shot attempts from this range see an almost exponential increase. LeBron James, in his 20-year career, attempted 304 4-pointers. Trae Young, in just 5 seasons, has already attempted 536. However, the ultimate leaders on the all-time 4-point leaderboard are Damian Lillard and Stephen Curry, both with virtually the same number of 4-point attempts throughout their careers, maintaining relatively excellent field goal percentages. Yet, merely analyzing the total attempts may not fully unveil the prowess of these players. A more revealing metric could be the rate at which players shoot these long-range shots. If we explore 4-pointers attempted per season, a surprising player emerges as the undisputed leader throughout NBA history. It's not Steph or Dame, not James Harden or Kobe Bryant, not even prolific sharpshooters like Reggie Miller or Klay Thompson. If the 4-point line existed, Trae Young would unequivocally be the greatest 4-point shooter of all time. He has consistently attempted over 104 4-pointers per season throughout his career, standing in a league of his own. Further delving into the numbers solidifies this claim, with a career shooting percentage of 33% on shots at least 30 feet out. If the 4-point line existed, Trae Young would boast an expected shot value of 1.33 points off 4-pointers, making it the single most valuable shot in basketball, rivaled only by uncontested layups. To put things into perspective, in a hypothetical scenario where the NBA features a 4-point line, the premier big man in the league would have a lower points per shot value on contested layups compared to Trae Young's efficiency from beyond 30 feet. This implies that a 30-plus foot bomb by Trae Young would be more efficient than a defended layup from the reigning MVP. Can you grasp how remarkable this is? And this disparity in value only magnifies as we move further away from the basket. Consider Kevin Durant, a mid-range juggernaut with a points per shot value of 1.1 on mid-range jumpers. Even if we extend the range to the 3-point line and examine Tyrese Maxey, the most accurate volume 3-point shooter in the league, Trae Young's 30-foot 4-pointer still surpasses the value of Maxey's 3-pointers. Steph Curry, hailed as the undisputed king of the 3-ball, revolutionized the game with his range. However, Trae Young has already made more career 4-pointers, shots from at least 30 feet out, than Steph Curry. It might be fortunate that this shot doesn't currently exist in the NBA. If it did, Trae Young would undoubtedly be the best to ever do it. Visualizing each sector on the floor by distance, we can observe prolific scorers from short range, such as dominant and efficient bigs who control the paint. Moving back to the mid-range, efficiency remains consistent with players like Kawhi Leonard, Dirk Nowitzki, and Chris Paul. Extending further, the long two-point shot, often considered the least efficient shot in basketball, is kept alive by players like Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. Taking it one step further, the extra point from the three-point line makes three-pointers in the right hands one of the most lethal shots in the game. Players like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Ray Allen have gained at least 1.2 points per shot from this distance since 1996. These are the shots you want, the players you want taking them, and their corresponding values. And then there's Trae Young, who, in a league with a 30-foot four-pointer, would possess the most valuable shot in basketball, all while confidently taking it from the logo. Subscribe for more NBA content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.